we're going to jump right into it, bud. We're going to talk about the fight. We had a short little drive from Staten Island to Newark. As you just said, it was the rematch, Merab Dvalishvili versus Sean O'Malley. The Prudential Center in Newark. The crowd was rocking, like you said, and Merab did what Merab does. Relentless, non-stop, coming forward. Didn't take him long. It was just, to me, very demoralizing to fight this guy. How much effort and strength and energy it takes to get up from the ground, and he dumps you right back over and over again. Extremely impressive performance by Merab. His second title defense now, 13 fights that he's won in a row in the UFC. He's looking like he might be on pace to be the greatest bantamweight fighter ever in UFC history. Our boy Dominic Cruz probably still holds that title for now. But what'd you think of the fight? What'd you think of Merab? What'd you think of both guys' performances in this rematch?
Look, pressure. You've heard other people say it. You've heard me say it. Pressure breaks pipes. Pressure breaks people. Pressure weighs you down. Physically, obviously, but mentally, not as obviously. But it does. It discourages, it weighs you, it weighs on you. And that's part of what he does. And also geography, I always talk, and I did the fight after we did the post-fight. I hope people enjoyed it to watch. I did it with Brett Yakamoto, who does a great job. I mean, John Anik is the top guy, but Brett is really filling in the spots that he does. He's doing a real good job. And Chael Sonnen and Anthony Smith, they're brilliant. They're fighters. They're tremendous fighters, warriors, but also very articulate, very good explaining their sport and the nuances of it in a way that people can digest. And that's the way it should be done if you're going to do that for a profession. It's great working with them. I felt, like I said to them after the fight, geography. It's always for me about geography of the ring, or in this case, of course, the cage. And the geography, is all about who gets the place that suits their skill levels, their skill sets the best. And that was obviously going to be in close, on the floor, in close, inside for Merab. And that's what he did. He got the geography. O'Malley needed range. I thought Anthony made a good point, Anthony Smith. O'Malley was using his legs to keep range. The problem was he wasn't grabbing the floor to be able to punch, because it's not enough just to keep range with a guy like Merab, the machine, who keeps coming. Yeah, you have to keep range. You have to keep distance. You have to keep him from closing the gap. But you have to mix offense with it. And that means your feet have to be grounded. You have to be set to hurt him, to give him something to respect. Something, you got to put a wrench in the carburetor. You got to do something to stop the machine from being a machine. You got to hit it. And he wasn't set to do that enough, because he was moving his legs, being forced to move for defense, for survival purposes. You have to be able to find a way to be able to control range with Merab, and at the same time, when it comes to the striking part of it, be able to strike. And at the same time, also preserve yourself. Strike at a right range, and then still get out of town, but be set while you're doing it to punch again. Not just strictly moving for survival. That is what has to be done. And Merab, I want to give him credit for his striking. We all gave credit to O'Malley, and he still deserves. He's a tremendous counterpuncher, terrific striker, terrific boxer, fast hands. He can put combinations. When he's at his best and he's able to, he can put combinations together. His defense is good. His legs are great. All of that. He sets traps. He can get off first when you're hesitant in front and you're late in front waiting too long. He'll beat you to the mark. All of that. But he gets credit for it because it's so easy to see it because it jumps out at you. You know, that neon talent, that quick talent, that the bells and whistles, the all the stuff I just described. It jumps out. You say, wow, yeah, I want to give him credit for being a great boxer, a great striker, and he is. But let's give Merab credit for being a hell of a striker. He doesn't do it with that stuff. He does it the right way, though. He does it effectively, efficiently. He does it with his legs always being under him. He's never out of position. He's never over his skis. He's never reaching. He's never making your job easier that way. He's always coming behind the jab. It's a straight jab. It's a true jab. It's a hard jab. It's a jab that sets everything up. Yeah, he got wide a couple of spots. Yeah, he did. A couple of spots there. But because of his pressure, O'Malley wasn't set to take advantage of it. To really set, like I said, and like Anthony Smith said, set to punch in between those wide shots. That's where you got to be ready. That's where you got to make hay. That's where you got to be opportunistic with a guy. You can't miss opportunities with a machine. You got to, well, when you can pull that oil plug, you got to pull it. You got to pull it. So, at the end of the day, yeah, he's great on the floor. He's a monster. And that's where he got the submission. And he's strong, and he's determined, and he's confident. He's all those things. And he's got a great trainer, great training team with Ray. Ray
Longo.
Yeah, Ray Longo, who's been on the show. Great man and a great trainer. They do, and him and his partner, the former great fighter, they do a great job training their fighters. At the end of the day, a mix of striking and then getting to where his bread is buttered. On the floor, finishing the job, picking them up in the air, dropping them down like a sack of potatoes. I mean, I was just waiting for him, and I'm kidding, but, he's got a little showman in him. Everyone thinks O'Malley's a showman, but Merab's a showman in a more different way. He's a showman like the caveman. They should come back with the caveman commercials and let him be the caveman. Yeah. I think that is his agent, if he has one, if he has an agent, get on it. Get on it. He's a showman in that area. But I was thinking he picks him up, he goes over to the gate, opens the gate, and drops him right in front of Mr. Trump. I was just I almost was thinking he might actually think about doing that. I better not even mention it. But at the end of the day, look, I love O'Malley. We're not here to knock in any kind of way O'Malley. O'Malley's terrific. He'll have his day. He'll come back. He reminds me in some ways, not as physical, but in some ways, great promoter, all that, but great striker. He reminds me in some ways of Adesanya a little bit, and also of when Conor McGregor was at his best. When he was at his best, Conor McGregor was great. And when he was in that portal, when he was so good and he came on the scene and really made the scene when he beat Aldo, the legendary Aldo. But he was at his best when he got guys coming at him in a reckless way. And he could show you his great abilities of punching and counterpunching. And I look at O'Malley the same way. When he gets the right style fight, this was the wrong style for him. He didn't get reckless aggression. That was one of the things that Merab did so well. He was aggressive without being reckless. He didn't play into the hands of O'Malley's strengths. He didn't give him what he needed. A little cooperation in making mistakes, getting a little fat, a little over his skis like I talk about, where he leaves himself open to counters. He didn't do that. But he is tremendous when he gets the right style and he gets a chance to show his gifts, his ability. He being O'Malley, he's terrific. And he will get that chance again. He will. And I give him credit. He got beat. He got beat decisively. He was He was the way you would want a champion to behave afterwards. He behaved like a champion, when he fought and when he lost. And there's something to be said about that. There's a lot to be said about that, especially in today's world. In today's world, in our game, in boxing, and in general, in everything. That you want to see guys not only show their great talents in whatever they do and celebrate that, but you want them to show also their great abilities to be a good example. To just to behave like a champion. Not only fight like one.